Hi there and welcome to our very first video, which will introduce you to the digestive system and covers the story of how food turns into poo. The story of how your food ends up as poo is an amazing one. The food that you eat is broken down firstly by chewing and mashing in the mouth. You fashion a little ball from this food called a bolus with the help of the tongue. A little bridge called the epiglottis closes over to protect your airways so that food doesn't go into your lungs every time you eat. During swallowing, the food bolus is pushed back down to the entrance of the food pipe, also known as the esophagus. Starting in the esophagus, an amazing action called peristalsis takes place. Think of peristalsis like the movement of a worm crawling on the ground. Peristalsis is powered by muscles inside the gut itself and is the force that enables the food to travel from the esophagus to the stomach and all the way down to the anus. Now, the stomach is a J-shaped moving container full of acid. The fold to the stomach that we can see are called rugae. As the food bolus arrives in the stomach, it causes the stomach to stretch, and a lot of enzymes in acid are produced. These help to break down or digest food. Once eating starts, the lower part of the stomach is constantly churning like a blender, and most of the food is broken down in tiny particles, no more than 3 millimeters, the small size of the particles allowed to easily pass into the small bowel. This pulpy acidic mash enters the very long winding tube known as a small bowel. The mash is digested with the assistance of a flat pear-shaped gland known as a pancreas and bile. The pancreas produces a number of enzymes that are really good at breaking down proteins into small amino acids. Bile is a yellow-green, thick, sticky fluid produced by the liver and acts like a detergent to break down big clumps of fat into little flat particles. The small bowel also contains enzymes that help digest carbohydrates into simple sugars like glucose. We're traveling through the small bowel now, and yes, as you can see, it's very long indeed. In an average adult, it measures around 6 meters in length right now. It feels like we're almost in a roller coaster. Amino acids, little fat particles, and simple sugars can travel through the cells lining the small bowel and into the bloodstream. Now, this process is called absorption. It means that nutrients can get to different parts of the body where they are needed. The small bowel absorbs almost all food nutrients and minerals such as iron. Any food that is not digested by the small bowel, such as fiber, enters a large bowel or colon. In the colon, a lot of water is taken away from the food, making it more firm. A lot of bacteria is present in the colon, and after processing food, they can produce gas and short-chain fatty acids, valuable nutrients for the nutrients. Cells lining the colon, the indigestible dried food product now becomes waste. It gets stored in the last part of the colloid known as the rectum and is ready to leave the body as poo during a bowel motion. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how healthy you think you're eating, your stomach still feels heavy, bloated, and sluggish? As a gut doctor, I see this every single day. Seniors coming into my office complaining about constipation, abdominal discomfort, and a constant feeling of being stuck. And when I run tests, I often find the same shocking thing: toxic feces trapped in the colon, sometimes for weeks or even months. This isn't just about discomfort. When your colon is clogged with waste, it creates a perfect breeding ground for harmful bacteria, toxins, and inflammation. Over time, this can affect your energy, your memory, your mood, and even your heart health. The scary part? Over 68% of adults over 55 have some level of fecal buildup right now, and most don't even know it. But here's the good news. Your gut has an incredible ability to heal itself if you give it the right foods. Today, I'm going to share 5 powerful foods that naturally help your body flush out toxic feces, reset your gut, and bring back that light, energetic feeling you've been missing. But before we start, I need you to stay with me until the very end, because I'll also explain how to combine these foods safely so you don't shock your system and end up spending the entire day in the bathroom. The first food is chia seeds. These tiny little seeds might look harmless, but they're like a broom for your colon. They're packed with soluble fiber, which absorbs water, swells up in your intestines, and gently pushes old feces out of your system. I've seen patients who went from being constipated for 5 days straight to having a completely clean gut after just 2 servings. But here's the mistake most people make. They eat chia seeds without enough water. If you don't hydrate properly, chia can clump up inside your digestive tract, making constipation even worse. So if you're going to add chia to your diet, mix 1 tablespoon in a full glass of water. Wait 15 minutes until it forms a gel and drink it. That's when the magic happens. The second food is prunes, nature's most underrated detox tool. Prunes contain sorbitol, a natural sugar alcohol that draws water into the intestines and helps loosen compacted waste. But there's something even more powerful about them. They're full of phenolic compounds that stimulate the gut lining and encourage smoother bowel movements. I had a patient in his 70s who hadn't had a proper bowel movement in nearly a week. We introduced just 4 prunes a day, and by the 3rd morning he called me in shock saying, doctor, I finally feel empty again. That's the effect prunes can have. However, you have to control the portion size. Too many prunes too quickly can lead to severe cramping and diarrhea, especially if your gut isn't used to them. Start with 2 or 3, then increase gradually. The third food is kiwi, and this one surprises a lot of people. Kiwi contains a special enzyme called actinidin, which speeds up digestion and helps break down proteins more efficiently. It's also rich in insoluble fiber, which works like tiny scrubbing brushes, helping remove stubborn waste stuck along the intestinal walls. In a 2023 clinical study, people who ate 2 kiwis a day for 4 weeks experienced a dramatic reduction in constipation and bloating. But here's the part most people miss. To get the full cleansing effect, you have to eat the kiwi with the tiny seeds inside, because that's where most of the gut-friendly compounds are found. Seniors especially benefit from this because kiwi is also high in vitamin C, which helps protect the gut lining from inflammation caused by toxic feces. The fourth food is avocado. Yes, the same avocado you see on toast in trendy cafes, but here's why it's a gut doctor's secret weapon. Avocados are rich in magnesium and healthy fats, both of which play a critical role in moving waste through your intestines. Magnesium works like a natural muscle relaxer for your digestive tract, allowing your colon to contract and release built-up feces more effectively. And the monounsaturated fats in avocado actually lubricate your gut, making it easier for toxic waste to pass through without straining. For seniors, this is a game changer because age naturally slows down gut motility, and avocado can help restart that process naturally. But again, portion control matters. Half an avocado a day is plenty. Finally, the fifth food, and this is the most powerful of all, is fermented sauerkraut. I call this the gut reset food because it restores balance in your microbiome while helping your body eliminate waste. Sauerkraut is loaded with probiotics, the good bacteria your gut needs to digest food, absorb nutrients, and push toxins out efficiently. Without enough healthy bacteria, your intestines can become sluggish, leading to more buildup and bloating. But when you introduce sauerkraut, you're essentially planting tiny soldiers in your gut that fight off harmful bacteria and clear toxic feces faster than your body could on its own. The key is to choose raw, unpasteurized sauerkraut, because the probiotics in canned or heat-treated versions are mostly destroyed. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Doctor, if I eat all 5 of these foods today, am I going to spend the entire day in the bathroom? And the honest answer is, maybe. That's why I never recommend starting all at once. Your colon is like a clogged drain. If you pour too much water in too fast, it overflows. Instead, introduce 1 food at a time, drink plenty of water, and give your gut time to adjust. Within a week, you'll start noticing lighter digestion, better bowel movements, less bloating, and higher energy levels. But here's the part most seniors overlook. Toxic feces don't just affect your gut. When waste sits in your colon for too long, toxins can seep into your bloodstream, a process called auto-intoxication, and this can affect your brain, liver, heart, and even your immune system. That's why regularly cleansing your gut naturally with safe foods like these is one of the best things you can do for long-term health. I've worked with thousands of patients over the years, and I've seen people regain their energy, improve their memory, and even sleep better just by removing this trapped waste. It's not about extreme cleanses, dangerous laxatives, or expensive detox kits. Nature has already given us the tools we need. We just have to use them the right way. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one of these 5 foods and add it to your day today. Start small, stay consistent, and listen to your body. Over time, you'll feel the difference: lighter, healthier, and more in control of your gut than you've been in years. And if you want me to make a follow-up video showing you the exact morning drink I recommend to seniors that flushes out 80% of toxic feces overnight, let me know in the comments below. Your gut deserves better, and so do you.